Belt that. We're done. We're done, guys. We're done. We did it. Ha-ha! That's transformation potions. Welcome back to Alchemy Factory, everybody. In the last episode, we got half of our setup going for our transformation potions. All right, we're shooting for 3 assemblers worth of transformation potions, and we got half of it up and running. This is our yeast powder. All right, so the next step, we're going to need to make the gloom spores. We're going to use that yeast powder, and then we're going to use 5 table saws. We're going to have mushrooms coming out into these 2 assemblers to make our gloom spore. So this is the way we're going to balance it. We've got 2 blenders producing our yeast powder. We're going to have 2 assemblers, and we're going to combine the 2 into the assemblers, and we're going to get our gloom powder that we need. And then our final step will be to combine that gloom powder coming out of there with coke powder, which we're just going to grind up cold to do. That's the simplest way. And get 3 assemblers worth of our transformation potions. That's the end goal for today. So the way I've set this up, just so that I can visualize it all, we're just gonna, we could probably literally copy and paste this, because all we got to do is connect the yeast powder to it. Now we're gonna have to feed this with rotten logs. So a purchasing portal is probably what we'll use. I wonder if we could actually... I was thinking maybe we could slide it in line with this one, because I've already got a purchasing portal back here buying the logs to feed our advanced fertilizer. But no, I think probably not. I think I'll just copy and move it. So let's do this. Let's copy this whole machine. And let's... Do we want it facing that direction is what I'm thinking out loud. Sorry. I'm thinking, do I want to snap it in like back here so that our... Or should I like rotate it so that I've got a purchasing portal feeding coins and logs in like this? I don't suppose there's a wrong way to do it. It's just how would I want it to be aesthetically? This would probably be the best way. That way it would be easier to get our logs out of here. So yeah, let me leave a little bit of room for belts in the back. Something like that. And we're just going to... we'll just copy these. We actually want these closer to up here. Something like this. We can move them again later if we need to. Delete this one. Pull this one up. Like that. Okay, delete that one. And I'm going to rearrange these belts here. I just had all this laid out for like a visual aid for me, so that I could kind of see all my inputs and outputs now. If we set these up to output mushroom, the mushrooms are going to come on the top belt. We want the bottom belt to get rid of our wood. And for now... What do we do with the wood? I guess that's a good question, right? Over here, we're burning it into charcoal powder, but I don't have an immediate use for it. Until I can come up with a use for it, I'm just going to put down a couple of storage boxes and get it out of the way. Something like this. Yeah. Just get it out of the way. Just get rid of it for now. We will come up with a better way of dealing with it later. That should be fine to get that wood out. Now we need some lifters to get our... Let's just run it all the way down. Mushrooms out the top. All right. We're going to feed the mushrooms. We're going to need to drop 1 level. Oh, wrong way. Like that. And then they can split into... I think my belt speed should be fast enough to do this. 1 here, and leave myself a little bit of space, 1 there. Yeah, because these only produce 6 a minute. Yeah, they're pretty slow. My base speed is 6 a minute, so I need to get... Oh, I don't need to stack that. Delete these table stands. And then, I guess a purchasing portal. For now, I'm just going to hand feed them, but when we set up a purchasing portal, we'll do it like that. Put a purchasing portal back here, run coins into it. We don't have coins on this second floor yet. I've not come up with an elegant way of doing that yet, so that's fine. Okay, that is the Gloom Fungus. And I actually need to take these back a level, because I don't want to take... We need to combine this into it, and... Yeah, it needs to come back. These need to space back, and actually closer to here. So let's delete one. Move one up. What can we do? Something like... It doesn't have to be... Doesn't have to be beautiful. Just make it work for now. Alright, and then... That means our belts here need to change slightly. So I was thinking of that a little bit wrong. We'll just feed it in like that, and then leave ourselves some space. Like that, and then we need 2 belts coming out for our yeast powder. All I really got to do is lab stand over this one. So we want to lift this up. Get our input at the bottom. Run it across. And then this one we'll feed this way. So let's just lab stand over. And lab stand one more there. And then we'll drop it into this machine. Like this. That's that one done. And then for the next one, we will take it to right here. Input from the top. Just put some lab stands down to block that over. Like that. There we go. There's our gloom spores. We need to... Well, no, I guess it's not. We need to fill these up. So let me go buy... I need to go restock on some supplies, like I'm out of gears in my inventory. And then I need to go buy some, I guess, what, 15? Just to make sure that stays full for a while. Go buy a bunch of rotten logs and fill that up. Okay, got this all up and running now. It is flowing down into... We are getting our gloom spores here. I probably should put down a storage box for these just to kind of catch any overflow. My math should be balanced, but... You know, I just want to make sure we catch any excess. So now, that is enough gloom spores to feed 3 assemblers worth to make our transformation potions. Now we need to work on the coke powder is the last thing. Okay, so coke powder is made in furnaces. So let's do the math on these. Okay, lastly, the coke powder. We're going to need 6 crucibles, 2 furnaces, and 3 stone crushers. Crushers are going to crush the coal. And then we'll feed it into these crucibles across the top. Let's see. 20, 40. They produce 20 a piece at base speed, so that's 60. That's plenty for 1 belt. Actually, that's perfect for 1 belt. And then we need to crush it, so we'll need to build, I don't know, let's see, something like this. We'll just build a little platform here, and then we can copy and paste it. Now these actually, no. These need 2 grinders for each crucible, don't they? So I actually need to... How would I do this? 2 grinders for each crucible. Ooh, I did not consider that. So could we stack them? Like this? Would that work? No, we're not really leaving ourselves enough room for belts that way, are we? Like, this is doable, but there's no room to get a belt up to there at the same time, unless we do it... Could we do it like this? And then take a lift up? I'm just trying to think of, like, an easy solution to this. For the second row... Snap that in from there and feed it across. Would this work? I'm not crazy about the look of that, but that should work because each one of these produces... no, that would not work. I'm going to need to split it off into 2. Okay, so these each produce... no, this would work. This would work because each one of these at base speed produces 10. So that's 60. Yeah. That's fine. That'll work just fine. All right, so that is our blueprint for that. we really have to do is copy and paste this and then join these two together and then run the lines out to feed these 3 assemblers. And then we should be done. So let's just copy this. Oh no, we'll have to figure out fuel for this. It needs to be fueled. And I don't want to take it out of this line, so could we instead use a 4th crusher? That's a lot of coal to burn. We're not really getting any extra charcoal. We are getting extra wood out of this, so instead, let's just, duplicate it. Let's duplicate half of it, or 1/3 of it. Yeah, half of it. Let's copy that. And we're going to turn some of this excess wood we're getting back here into some charcoal powder to fuel everything. So this one will need to fuel itself and then 2 others. Should not be difficult. If we do that, and then we're going to need the other 2 next to it. I'll disconnect these belts for now because I definitely do not want these belts running all together. Like that. So we want wood to come in here. Oh, into day 93. Should have made some decent money. I did do another quest off camera, so we got 90 silver for that quest. All together, we turned a nice little profit. We did spend a boat. Well, actually, that's not quite a profit, is it? We lost money today, but because we had to buy 88 rotten logs to get everything refueled for this line and the advanced fertilizer line to refill all these machines. I went ahead and set up purchasing portals for it all just to automate it so I wouldn't have to keep coming back and buying them as often. Now we just need to figure out a way to get coins through all of this floor. I suppose I could just put down a storage chest, fill it with coin, and then run a belt through everything. That's an idea, but that's not what we're working on right now. I got to stay focused. Okay, so now we do not want these belts. Oh crap, we don't want these belts connecting here either. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't leave myself enough space for the lift. Let me. All I really got to do is reverse it. It's fine. It's fine. So we'll just do. We do need to redo the belts though. So make sure none of the belts are joining in the wrong place. Let's just redo it. Do not want to delete the grinders. There we go. That's all the belts gone. So this one is going to be its own. And I'm trying to think, does this actually need that many? No, they do 1-to-1, so we could delete the top ones. These grinders go 1-to-1, like that. And then the rest of this will come in along here. Oh no, I accidentally deleted my blocks. Jimmy, how did I do that? There we go. Oops, 1 extra. There we go. Alright, so these will come across to here, like that. And then we'll put our lifter here. Take this line up a level, and I actually should be running these belts in this direction. Towards the lifter, right? Just delete them. I don't want them to mess up. Because this will be covered up and it'll be hard to tell if we made a mistake later. So just get it right now. Let's put the belt stands up and then belt it across. There we go. Alright, now that is going to... Now we need to fuel all of this. So this is going to be our... we just need a lifter. Let's do these. Beams here. Run a belt out. We'll run blocks all the way back. So that our belt will just belt into these. Put 1 lifter here. We want it to pay out at the bottom. Come from the top. Run our belt across. Get in there. And that's our fuel. Now, what we... Did we leave enough room for belts back here? we just barely left enough room for our belts to continue if we need them to. Okay, great. Now this is going to produce our Coke powder. We've got to feed the Coke in from right here. We don't want those two belts touching, because this is going to be wood coming in right here. So essentially, all I've got to do is get our wood in. So let's put a lab stand there. Go ahead and get that started. And I can delete this. And we're just going to take the excess wood out of here with a lifter from the bottom all the way to there. Just put a solid block. And that's going to feed the excess wood into that, burn it, turn it into charcoal, turn it into charcoal powder, and then feed everything. All right, good. That's done. Everything is fueled. Now we need our Coke powder, so I will just copy this machine right here. Oops. Yeah, that'll work. Do it like that. Hit cut. And I am just going to stick this... Well, it's not the most elegant looking thing in the world, but I'm just trying to get this done today. Now we need to feed it into right here. I'm just thinking of the math. Is this mathing in my head? I think I needed to move it over one square as well. So let's hit T and move it to there. That's going to be fine and dandy. Yep, that'll work just fine. And that actually lines up with our belts. There we go. So now I just need a lifter to pick the inputs up to this level. And we're going to drop one belt across to feed that in. We need to put a lab stand over that and then block up. Oops, wrong one. To the next level, we'll take a conveyor belt. We want to drop this one, output at the bottom. It'll pay from there. And then a lab stand up to the next floor, and then we want one conveyor to pay. I'm out of rope. Gotta go get some rope. Crap. All this build was almost finished too. I just need a couple pieces of rope. Let's see. Just grab stack's fine. Whatever. Oh wait, we got a quest we could turn in too. An urgent request for 270 pulleys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's easy money, because we should have all of those in storage. That's like 200, 300. We'll toss the extra back in there when we get done. And urgent request completed, 20 silver coins. I just want to make sure we don't run out of cash anytime soon. To make sure that our machines are all functioning, we're going to need cash, an influx of cash from time to time to make sure everything is running. All right, so that is done. I could probably just delete that. This one is last belt. Here, we want to feed it into the bottom from the top. And rotate that guy so it snaps in. Alright, now we just got to feed that with coal. I don't have any coal on me, do I? I gotta go buy coal. Actually, alternatively, I'm just gonna buy a sigil stone and auto-feed the coal in with a purchasing portal. That way we don't have to worry about it ever running out. Purchasing portal for the win. Let's see, that's all right here. Purchasing portal, place it down. Anywhere back here is fine. Let's see, leaving room for a belt. So if we have it like this, is that going to work? Yep, that works just fine. All right, feed that in, make that by coal. And I actually... Nope, that's not going to work. That's not going to work because that bottom belt is not coins. That bottom belt is fertilizer, right? Yeah. So that I need to move it over a square. That's fine. We'll just do it like this. Yep. And then we'll make that purchase our coal. Like that. And then now we just need to lift these. Pay that out from the bottom. Up to that level. Lab stand over that. Block it up. To there. Feed that belt. Lab stand. Block it up. To the next level. Which I'm probably not going to be able to get up there. Come on. There we go. And we'll put a lifter from here. Yep. Like that. And our last belt to feed that in. Like so. Let's just toss in some money to see this working, because our wood is already waiting. We need to kickstart this one with a little bit of fuel. We'll just toss in some planks to get it going, and then it should be all self-sufficient and feeding all into itself. Let me make sure this is looking right here. All right, we got our coal starting to come in. It's going to get burned into coke, then run through the grinders. Now we need an output for all this, and then we need to feed it into our 3 assemblers. Guys, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Let me make sure this does not run out of coal while I'm doing this. Toss in a little bit extra. That looks good. Looks like the machines are full. All right, so outputs, outputs, outputs. How are we gonna... I can delete this now. Save myself these building materials, put them back in my pocket. Outputs. Okay, so we need to take... how much did we say we're getting? 3 machines worth, so that's 1, 2, 3. So 4 will feed into 1 to make it balanced. So, alright, I think this is going to be the easiest way to do this. I'm just going to paste all these belts in, and I essentially need to take... Let me run these out so that I can visualize all of this. Now I need to take this second row and drop it down as well. So lab stand over each of these. And then we'll run each one out into a belt. Actually, we could run... We need to run 4 into 1, so we really only need those there. Those there. Those there. We drop these down, so we're condensing our belts because we're trying to get 4 lines into 1. All right, so now that's, let's see, that's 2 into 1. Now we need to combine these 3 into 1 line. All right, not a problem. Extend this out, put in a lab stand, and we drop this one down a level. Yeah, okay. Lab stand across. Let's take it across. Be the easiest way to drop this one. And actually, if I turned it, it would be... Nope, I can't turn it. I want them all to match. Can I do this with all 4 lines, though? That's the question. All right, that's that. I essentially just need to merge all of these into 1 belt. Like that. Okay, now just duplicate this process for the other belts, and we should be done. This is tricky, though. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, looking at it, it's like, how do I get all this out? I guess lab stand up. Run these 2 lines together. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Run them together here. And actually, I could redesign this one to look the same. I do not want those lines connecting, though. Like that. Okay. Now they all look the same. Now we just need to get this belt down into there. All right, not a problem. We'll do it like this. And we'll copy this one, paste it, lab stand across. Oops. If I could get my lab stands in the right spot, please. Oh, come on. All right, and now we just belt this into there, that into there, make sure none of our belts are crossing, and now we've got our outputs, just like that. 3 outputs, we need 3 assemblers, and they need to feed, we need to feed that coke and these gloom spores right here in it. So we'll actually pull this out a little bit to somewhere right about here. Guys, we're almost finished. Almost finished. We're in the home stretch. Gloom spores. I need 2 belts worth to feed into 3. 2 belts to feed into 3. Okay. So the simplest thing is to take it like this. I actually think I need 1 more square. Yeah, I need to back these up 1 more square. Like this. I could space them out and make this easier, right? But, so I want to feed that into there, that into there, and then this one will double feed. That one, and then across. And that feeds 3 lines into, 2 lines into 3. All right, that's that. Now the Coke powder, we need 1 to 1. So we need our input here, input here, input here. And all we got to do is take, this line is the furthest away. Man, you know, I wish I could get this a little bit tight. And I will. I'll go back and try and tighten this line up a lot. Like a lot. Make this much more compact. But I just need it up and running now. Because I want to get this quest done. Then need this line to come into right there. And this last line needs to come into... I'm out of wood. Oh, no I'm not. I am not out of wood. We have got plenty of wood hanging around here. Grab a couple stacks of that. It's the least of our worries right now is wood. Yep. I think I want it right there. And then we just got a lab stand over these. Drop in a couple of lifts. Copy that into there. Oh, I placed those backwards. Jimmy. Like that. There we go. Now, same thing on this side. We want a lab stand to feed out at the bottom. Copy that one. Paste it in. Belt that. Oops, wrong belt. Belt that. We're done. We're done, guys. We're done. We did it. Ha-ha! That's transformation potions. Oh, gosh. That was a lot. That was a lot. So we are getting... the base speed is 10 a minute on these. So we're 30, but since we've got some upgrades, we're actually getting like 17 and a half a piece. So you can do the math on that if you want to. But the base speed is 30 a minute, and that's, you know, kind of what I based everything on. So that if you rebuild this, no matter what your upgrade points are, as long as your logistics efficiency and your factory efficiency match, you should be able to get the same output as long as all your inputs are the same, right? There it is, 100 transformation potions. That didn't take long at all. That machine is producing them pretty fast, actually. Main quest, 100 potions submitted. We are now level 6. We get a couple new points to spend in our upgrades, and we unlock, pyrite ore, chamomile seeds, rock salt. Awesome. All right, we get our new main quest is going to be to make growth potions. So we got a whole new tree unlocked. Everything is running smoothly. I'm really happy with that. That has been our transformation potion build, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure and hit the thumbs up button so I know you enjoy the content. It lets me know you'd like to see more. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.